What's going on, guys? It is your boy Mike, and it is a beautiful Friday afternoon. I worked really hard and got a lot of my stuff done today because I want to enjoy some of this weather. I want to get queued up for a nice weekend. I have a little visitor with me today. You want to see who's here while I record the video? This is Tandiwe. Tandiwe the cat. She is happy to be out here with me, I guess, while I record. I want to share a thought with you. I've been kind of kicking around this week. It's been rattling around in this mind of mine as I've been busy getting work done. And that is around this idea of brand sycophancy. What is brand sycophancy? This idea that brands are sycophants at times, it seems to be a growing trend, and I'm totally not going to be popular for sharing this, but I'm going to say it anyway. It's been bothering me. Like, we've got this trend where there's some social, political, cultural, you name it, there's some cause de celeb, whatever everyone's into at the moment, and you can fill in the blanks. I don't even have to say them. But there are all these causes that we all seem to be wound up on, and that's fine. I mean, as human beings, you want to get into a cause, you want to get into something that makes your life have some more meaning, make you feel like you're contributing to the world in some way. That's fine. But what I have a problem with is that brands lately are jumping on these causes. Now, why do I call it sycophancy? You've all heard of a sycophant, I assume. And maybe I'm not saying sycophant, maybe it's sycophancy, I don't know. It's kind of a strange word. But another bunch of terms, we'd say toady, we'd say someone's a brown noser, a lick spittle, a boot lick, a suck up, a kiss up. This is this person that will just suck up to somebody who's in a position of authority, someone in a position of power, to get favor from that person. That's insincere, they don't care about the person, but they're sucking up to them because they want to get some type of benefit from them. And we've all worked with these people. I mean, this goes way back, like to the courts of medieval England, and I'm sure Europe, where you've got some powerful king on the throne, and they have a court, people all around, all serving the king, all there, part of the kind of upper echelon of society, and some are there to curry favor, some are there to plead their cause, some are there to serve. They're all there for different reasons, but you get this sycophant, this person who's just lacking any ethics. They're just telling the king or queen what they want to hear. They're stroking them, and they're just trying to extract some type of benefit, some power, some position, some prestige, land, whatever that is. It's classic, and you see it at work. I mean, like I was saying, we've all worked with people like this. You've had someone that just sucked up to the manager, or brown noser. Nobody likes these people. And the whole idea behind it is that this individual, this sycophant, wants to get for themselves. They want to manipulate those in power to get for themselves. Well, what does this have to do with brands? Well, a lot, actually. You know, we throw around the phrase that the customer is king. And it's a cliche, I get it, but the fact of the matter is the customer really is the king. I mean, we have all the power. We choose which brands live or die in our world. We choose which ones move to the front and which ones move to the back. We choose which brands are part of our close inner circle of our daily life and which ones are relegated to the dust heap. We have power over our little fiefdom. We are the king, and we have the resources, we have the money, we are the thing that these brands want. They want our power, they want our time, they want our resources. There's nothing wrong with that. Look, I'm all for free trade. I'm for the free market. I love for the market to decide who wins, who loses. You know, may the best man or woman win. But a sycophant isn't happy to play on level terms. They want to somehow gain an advantage through manipulation. They aren't willing to put themselves out there and say, look, I'll stand on my own merits. I will woo you with my competence and my excellence in the way that I meet your needs and the way that I satisfy your desires. You will choose me over others because I am better suited for you. No, the sycophant manipulates and tells you what you want and tells you what you want to hear and just does whatever they can to get from you. But they don't care about you. They don't care about you. And that's where these brands come in. I'm sorry, but when I see brands taking up these popular causes, I just have to roll my eyes a little bit. You know, I picked on Gillette in a podcast a while back, not on The Currency, on a different podcast I had. And I talked about that Gillette ad, the first one that they came out with, where they were talking about toxic masculinity and how men need to do better. And they had all these scenes of just men being terrible, you know, and then of course, oh, Gillette's here to help you do better. But I'm sorry, here's the thing. You're a razor brand. You sell bits of plastic with little pieces of sharp metal in them, and they're disposable for $12, and once a month I'm buying a new set. I mean, you're a nothing. Yes, you matter. You know, I need razors, and most men do. Even if you have a beard, you're cleaning up a little bit. It's a disposable razor company. Yes, they make a men's product, but that product has nothing to do with the behavior of men. And quite frankly, I can't help but say sycophancy when I see ads like that, because I question, like, has Gillette and its parent company, the multi-billion-dollar global corporation, have they been treating the women that work for them better? Have they come out and apologized for all their sexist ads that they've run over the decades? Have they been making sure that women are getting fair opportunities within their company to rise to the top? I mean, it's like, I think Jesus said, you know, if you're worried about the speck in your brother's eye, maybe you should look at the beam or the log in your own eye. And so I look at these brands and I'm like, look, I don't need you to lecture me about how to behave as a human being. I don't need you to tell me how wonderful you think I am in a flattering and insincere way. You know, Converse sneakers taking on the cause of feminism, you know, Gillette razors taking on the cause of toxic masculinity. I don't know why that's so hard for me to say. Maybe there's some subconscious resistance there. And those are just two recent examples. I mean, I could go on. And I'm not against brands saying we celebrate this or that. We're in favor of whatever. I mean, I get it. We want to live in a world where people align with us. But, you know, like, do we really need our favorite chocolate bar to stroke us and make us feel better about some topic that's irrelevant to that chocolate bar and that brand? Is that what I need my relationship with my morning cereal to be about? Social justice and political causes? So, yeah, I'm sure listening to this, some of you are going to say, well, I don't agree with you, Mike, and that's fine. I don't need you to agree with me. You have every right to be wrong. Actually, if you don't agree, leave a comment below. I'd love to know what you think. But I feel that if you are a brand, you should stay in your lane. And what I mean by that is not, you should not get involved in political, social causes. I don't believe that for a moment. I believe that you should get involved in things that align truly with your brand and the value proposition that you have, that you offer, and the value that you create and the problems that you solve in the world. A great example of a brand involved in social and related causes would be Patagonia. Patagonia is a phenomenal brand. Check them out. But they make outdoor adventure gear and equipment. And it was started by this guy, Ivan. He was a rock climber way back in the day, living out of a van probably. And he and some buddies started making like rock climbing gear, like, you know, little crampons and D-rings and things that you'd use to climb rocks. And this is back when that was like an undeveloped kind of sport where you're really just living on the back of your car and you're poor and you're going from place to place, kind of like surfing, same aesthetic. And they started making equipment. Well, you know, they're now making all kinds of high-end clothing and equipment and gear all about the outdoors. Well, this brand is about the outdoors. It's about living outdoors. That is what Patagonia is about. And everything about their brand is in integrity with that concept. So they'll make statements about environmentalism and protecting the environment and making sure that things are sustainable and you know, clean and pure and pristine. But that makes total sense because that's what they do. And in fact, they take it so many steps further. Their whole plant is like zero emissions, tiny carbon footprint. Like everything they do is oriented around the message that they have. It's not just lip service. It's not just telling you what you want to hear so you buy more of their crap. They've oriented their whole business, their profits, their loss, their hiring, their culture, their values around this idea of saving the environment, keeping it pure and clean and good for people to enjoy. Hell, you buy a Patagonia jacket, it's made out of recycled plastic. I mean, everything they do is oriented. Now, whether you like environmentalism or not, whether you believe in recycling or not, is immaterial. This is a brand that is in integrity with what it's all about. They have every right to come out and talk about that. I'm sorry, but I just don't think that a brand like Gillette or Converse All-Stars has the right or the depth or the integrity to come out and tell us how we should think or feel about a social or political movement. Now look, that's fine. You want to come out with a line like Converse has come out with their, it's like queer, transgender, celebrating variety, line of sneakers. They're all wacky and crazy. I get it. Like, I'm not saying that they're not allowed to do that, but don't lecture me. Don't put out ads telling me or some other person in society why they need to get their act together. You get your act together first. And so if you're a marketer, if you're a branding person and you're working with clients, you're working with brands and companies, I would highly encourage you to avoid this temptation to push the brand into the area of sycophancy. Don't suck up to your market. Don't be a brown noser. Don't tell the market what it wants to hear. Deliver the goods. Bring your A game to the table. Create real value. Solve real problems with your product. Don't leverage your multi-billion-dollar ad revenue or your ad campaign to browbeat us and preach at us, especially if you're selling like a 52-cent razor. I mean, please. I don't know why I even have to say this. You would think it's obvious, but there's something about our society where it's like we want to be stroked. And this, I think, goes back to this kind of ancient relationship of the sycophant and the king. There's this unhealthy, symbiotic, kind of parasitic relationship where the sycophant tells the king what he wants to hear, but there's something about the king that really likes to hear it. And I think if we take it to our modern day workplace, you might have a great manager, but there might be this suck up, and the manager for some reason listens to the suck up, and there's nothing more infuriating than that. And I have to believe that, there's a part of the manager that just doesn't realize that they're being manipulated, but there's another part that likes being stroked. Everybody likes their jokes to be laughed at. Everybody likes to think that they're the smartest person in the room, that their ideas are appreciated, that their solutions are the best, and that the greatest manager ever. Everybody wants to feel that way. And the sycophant feeds into that insecurity, that desire. So I guess as consumers, what I'm saying is let's not be needy. Let's not be thirsty. Let's not look to our brands to validate us. If you need validation from a brand, there's something broken inside of you. The same goes for me. I'm not pointing fingers. I'm just saying us. And as a brand, if you're trying to manipulate that insecurity in people, then I'm sorry, you're doing it wrong. There's a deeper, better, more powerful, ethical, moral way. And I believe that it delivers better results. Yes, Gillette might get some short-term revenue for this campaign that they're on right now. But I guarantee you it's not sustainable. It's not long-term. This is not going to be something that works out for them. But the brands that avoid this kind of stuff, that don't cave into the temptation of manipulating, which is really a disrespect of their market. If you manipulate your market, you're essentially saying, I don't respect you. I don't have a desire to look at you in a way that values you, that thinks of you as something more than just a means to my end. But if you're a marketer, avoid this. Help your clients avoid it. There is a higher road, and it's a higher road that leads to success. It's not a higher road where you have to be a martyr, where you have to forego revenue. You can take a higher road. Don't get down into the mud with everybody else trying to just suck up and get someone's attention. In our stories, the good guy always wins, and there's a reason for that. We believe that, but we also have a hand in making that happen. We're living our story every day. So as you go about living your story, as you go about working on your brand, as you go out being a consumer, keep an eye out for this. Look for the sycophants. Call them out when you can, and advise and guide your customers and clients to stay away from that. Stay away from that. It's weak sauce, and it won't last. Guys, thanks for your time. I love you all. Leave me a comment. I'd love to get a little bit of smoke and fire going on this. If you think I'm full of it, tell me. I'll put my big boy pants on, and we can duke it out in the comments below. But if you did appreciate this video, give me a thumbs up. And if you have not already, and you are into things like branding, marketing strategy, leadership, and so on, hit that subscribe button. And we can talk to each other on a daily basis. Not daily, I'm not doing daily, but we could talk to each other regularly. I'll be here, I promise. Guys, I love you. I'll see you in the next episode.